Leangatha lead by 18 points 4 minutes into the second quarter. Leangatha was 7-3-45, Mafra 4-3-27.
Well, the message at quarter time was get it inside 50 to our forwards, and because they're dangerous, and that is the end result. A nice goal to Alexander as the ball back in the middle. Willis gathers and puts it inside 50, goes out wide, leading the race is done. Got Walker for company, but the boundary line's
in the back?
Pushed.
No.
Every contest has that air of just something about to happen. On this occasion, the umpire said no, we'll ball it in. Inside Leangatha's forward 50, about 35-40 metres around from goal, we'll have a boundary throw in.
Ball will come back into play. Connolly Vernon takes the ruck work down there. Clears both ruckmen over the back was O'Brien. Right foot kick goes into the middle of the ground. Just on from the bench is Skelling. Sheen's going to close. Skelling got up high. Tapped it back in the direction of Maskell. His kick comes out wide. Finds McGrath. He can handle over the top to Cooper if he wants, or kick in that direction. Decides not to. He wants to go longer. Hilberg, the first time this afternoon, and a long searching lead. Petro closes quickly and causes it to go over for a boundary throw-in. A great match-up between two warriors there. They've got great engines, both of those boys.
Absolutely.
Geez, the closing speed then on Petro was awesome.
And he just committed himself to that contest as well, and just ran through the ball and took it out for a boundary throw-in. Half-forward flank for the Parrots, as Connolly knocks it forward, ends up with Porter. Porter runs through the wing, chips the ball forward, it's going to go over the top of Sheen, marked over there by Sinclair, can release out wide, bounces in front of his, it could be Reid there. Kyle Reid plays on inside the centre, goes wide, on a lead there is Hilberg, ends up in his hands now, handballs the ball back to Olden. Olden chips it inside 50. Walker's dropped the sitter. Puts the pressure on, he's dropped it and knocked it out as the ball hits the ground, but the ball hit the ground first, and 50 against Hunts.
Yeah.
I don't like it. There wasn't much in it.
He did remonstrate though.
Yeah, but it's just a bit of push and shove. It's a final.
Hey, I'm just a messenger.
It's the heat of the situation. Just go over to the boys and say, hey, enough of that.
Yeah, call your jets.
Do it again. We'll then call a free kick. But
if they're consistent though all day.
Right. Nonetheless, a free kick and 50 metres in favour of Chrissy Dunn. He goes to the easiest of goals, bangs it through for his fourth, and a good response there for the Parrots.
Yeah, it was, and it all just came about from Sam Walker. I don't want to point him out, but he just had a nice easy mark inside 50-30 out. He just felt it. It probably did come on to him pretty quick. Spilt mark, and a beautiful tackle there from Dunny.
And Carper Country scoreboard, the 24-point quarter-time lead's been reinstated in Leangatha's favour, 8-3-51, Mafra 4-3-27.
Sorry, Paul. Just quickly, Troy, I think I led you up the garden path there. Kyle Reid's not actually playing this afternoon. It was Forrester, that one before. So back in the middle, O'Brien was there working hard, tried to squeeze a handball out in the direction of Carr. He goes again. Alexander's down at the bottom of the pack as well. And
the one you were thinking was Kyle Cooper.
Yes, it was, exactly. Alexander handballed backwards now to Adams. His left foot kick goes inside 50. Johnson, great work by Maskell to spoil. Out there is Davison, picks it up, handballs inboard. Out there, that is that Forrester man we're talking about. Jolly goes again, has a quick handball. Jolly seems to be back on the ground now, boys. So Mafra now, they're at 18, and Leangatha still at 17 after the send-off. As out on the far side, Olden has it for the Leangatha side. It's been a goal apiece to start the second quarter. Olden comes inboard to Sinclair. The press rolls back of the Eagles. Sinclair just chips it over the top. Bit of space there. Here's McGrath. He decides to handball backwards. Maskell now, long kick, left foot, goes in the directions of Hilberg. Petro is over the back. Good work by Porter. Crashed in again. Good Geishan, handball. Back to Bennett, who's high up the field. Bennett's going to be a turnover. Cooper has it, top of the 50, lowers the eyes, finds the target in Davison, and he'll go back and have a shot. The composure from Kyle Cooper was good.
He just waited up nicely, didn't want to rush his kick. He had time to assess all options, and the best option was Brock Davidson, and he'll line up for goal, 40 metres out, slide angle, as the kick coming out of defensive 50 was Mitch Bennett. Just caught the instep of his boot and went straight to Kyle Cooper. Davidson skips his way inside 50, puts the ball on the boot, hangs it out to the left, the wind brings it back nicely, goes through for a beautiful goal from Brock Davidson, and that's 2 in a row for the Parrots.
I think that was in the air for about 3 seconds, and I reckon the last 2.2 of a second it just come in at the last second. But that's just some time outside there for Kyle Cooper outside 50. He had some time to assess his options. Mitch Bennett, the option was there, he just didn't execute as well as he probably would have liked. Kick back inboard and a nice finish there from Davidson again, who's kicking really well for goal.
Leading at the lead by 30 points, 10 minutes of the second quarter on the Carver Country scoreboard, 9-3-57, Mapra 4-3-27.
Gets the flow too, Scud, as Leongatha still have one less on the field.
Yep.
14-minute mark, we'll see Ganane come back on.
Johnson well roved off the hand of Jones, kicks it in towards Sheen, puts one hand up, Bennett's there, gathers it, gets back, goes bow one way, comes the other way to O'Brien, who runs to 40, right foot, the reply is a great one as Daniel O'Brien, the bike rider, puts one through, and Mafra gets a good reply.
Yeah, it was a good reply. They're very Sheen conscious at the minute, Mafra, going forward, aren't they? It seems like every time they go in, but the thing is, he's either marking it or bringing it to ground, and it probably hasn't allowed guys like Dan Bedgegood to get involved in the game as much as what they probably can, but that was a nice finish there.
That ruck work was amazing too, boys, out of the centre.
Yeah.
Carver Country scoreboard at 24-point lead to Leongatha, 9-3-57, Mapra 5-3-33.
Free-flowing affair this afternoon in this big grand final. No one wins the ruck from the centre. Johnson was in there again. Working hard was Olden on Alexander. Head over the football with Bowman. Dives on it. Alexander's at the bottom of the pack as well.
What I like then from Scully, he got comprehensively beaten the time before. There's a flood rule here. The ruck contest before that, he got comprehensively beaten, which ended up being a goal for Mafra. That time, jumped in early, made it an absolute contest, and that's what he had to do then. He couldn't give it up, so he decided to go 50-50, which resulted in another ball up.
So Olden comes on and will go directly into the forward 50.
Leongatha need another blood rule because that just sat about a minute on.
Yep.
So another more minute like that, we'll have back on the ground. Inside the box, I think.
24-point margin in favour of Leongatha. 12 minutes into the second quarter. Johnson's starting to get his hand on the ball for the Sale Greyhounds this afternoon. A quick one by Geesh and tries but don't argue. And again, Johnson just
A bit high, I think, in the head there.
keep an eye on that one, of course. Sale Greyhounds this afternoon, the best on ground performing. Catch up here on to the 3 nibbles in the AFL Grand Final on the big screen. Contest in the middle. Trying to really play forward, gets his hand on it. Scratch a kick forward, trying to go 15. Snapped out of the contest by Sinclair. He's marked by Hutz. Hutz unleashes long. Going to go short inside 50. Fleming finds himself forward. Shooting a ground of Paging. Puts the pressure on. Lays a nice strong tackle and we'll have the ball after. 30 metres out from goal for the Eagles. Fleming just slides forward. Slide or moved? Well, keep an eye on that one. He might slide his way forward. The last couple of minutes that they've got a player free, an extra player on the ground, let's just throw Fleming forward and see if we can just snag one before they're back to full strength. Just counting the numbers, it looks like he may have moved forward a little bit there. Sheen takes the ruck work inside 50. Caught by Marion to hand it out the way of Sinclair. He got dumped after he kicked it, and in front spot
Strong
Hopkins.
mark.
He's good at reading the flight of the ball, isn't he?
He's a clever player.
He's
taken 2 strong chest marks with pressure, and it's very hard to do.
Yeah.
Kicks down the line, looking for his ruckman in. Big boy Willis. Hutz used his body well, close to the boundary. Happy to see it go over. And the Mustaco of James Hutt is coming along nicely.
He's had a good start to the game, Hutz. He's taken some good contested marks. One-on-one, he's been brilliant.
Keep in mind
as well.
Keep in mind that Reed is out of that side as well. One of the key defenders for this Eagle one. A great tap by Willis to Bowman, puts it inside 50. Walker had to get a half volley. Cooper does well. Handball picked off by Clossy of the Eagles. Clossy took 1 or 2 on, then squeezed a handball to Holmes. Shepherd by Carr was perfect. Allowed Holmes to gather it. Handball inboard to the Jones ruckman, to Clossy, back to Holmes. A chain of handballs ends up in Jones's hands, who kicks it all in. Sheen goes back with courage. Canane's back on the ground now. It's 18 on 18 again. Stone got tackled behind from Jolly, and that's holding the ball.
Stone cold.
As Jolly wins himself the free kick, holding the ball on the wing. He chips it to the boundary. Carr has it.
Both teams at full strength, Scott,
And both have been involved in that last contest, Ganane and Dolly.
well, to make amends for their indiscretions.
Carr kicks down the line, high, Sheen back pedals, so does Pascal Sheen. Too strong, Darren Sheen, and just going to get it inside 50 for his in range. They've caught a shepherding against Darren Sheen.
Against Shane. Against you.
So Sheen.
Smart by the umpire to say it was against Shane.
Cade Maskell has it. back flank, kicks it over the top of Sheen, goes to him, said I'll mark that. Got down the line, can't try to crash through, does well. Underground handball to Holmes. Stands up in the tackle. Parrots everywhere. Marriott was one of those. Checked his kick towards Ganane. Couldn't quite mark, but he brought it to front down. Closing
that's got to be a free kick.
Geishan remembered that Jax Ganane got one of his teammates and he gave away a professional free kick. Don't like it?
No, I understand why he wanted to do it.
Yep, not the time.
Nah. Not a free kick.
Ganane,
physical,
right foot, thumps it. Going back there is Skelling. Had to do the spoiling work. McGrath was front and square. He's not going to get through 2 tackles. The football just bobbles out though. Vernon was there to grab it. Handballs to Cooper. He's under pressure. Big tackle, and the umpire says we'll ball it up top of the 50. 15, make it 16 minutes gone. 24-point margin in favour of the Parrots.
Paddy McGrath slow to get up inside 50. He's up and about now, just working that shoulder over. Half forward flank for the Parrots. Willis knocks it forward. Ends up there with Skelling, can't gather. Pressure comes. Davey Adams for the Eagles. Leading the race. Vernon's shows a good pair of heels. Wins a contest. Spills out to Cooper. He's tackled over for a boundary throw in 30 metres around from goal. Zach Vernon's stats, Paul, we keeping track of that?
Yeah, just 3 handballs today.
Been quiet, well held. So maybe look at an opportunity to get him into play. Throw him up on a wing. Throw him behind the ball. Skelling knocks it forward. Falls in the path of Brown, feeds a handball out under pressure, ends up with that man Vernon, snaps it around the corner, contest in just to the right of the goal square, sees the ball go out of bounds, hard up on the behind post inside Leongatha's forward 50, 16 and 3/4 minutes gone. We have a 24-point margin.
Nathan Scarra?
Yeah, I'll just be worried here at the contest for Mafra. I think the ruck work from Leongatha's been good.
It's been great, hasn't it, that Willis?
Yeah.
Working hard there was done. So was Geishan, who had a quick tackle. Brad Thomas, you're at the ground level. What's the intensity like? It certainly looks great from here for the all-new Land Rover.
It's really good, mate. And every time there's a contested ball, the crowd for both sides are just going up and about. It's on a knife's edge down here, boys.
Well, big moments brought to you by Monticello's this afternoon, as expected. This big game between the top 2 sides in the Gippsland League, as the kick was outside the 50, but it's going back.
Yeah,
Leongatha.
good against Willis, pushed him underneath the ball and gives away a free kick. So we'll have another inside 50 for Leongatha.
Willis drives it high. There's a whistle off the play and there's a player down. And it's an Eagles player down on the far side. It looks to be Alexander.
We've got another send-off.
We certainly have. And Luke Bowman's going to be the one this time for the Parrots. As Alexander pops up to his feet and he's fine as he gets a free kick, as you do. But gee whiz, boys, we've had 3 send-offs in a 1/4 of football, and we got 50 as well.
We spoke about this, I reckon, after the Tom Bugg incident. Come grand final time, you hit someone, you take him out of the play. What the ramifications are. It's half an hour at 17 men for Leongatha, isn't it?
Absolutely. Big moment of the game for Monticello's this afternoon. The Jack Daniels 700ml, just $39.99 as Alexander squares it up across this near side to Adams. He's still in his half-back flank, though, is Adams. Fleming is at centre half-back. He goes to that direction. Who can mark? Cooper stands the mark. Sam Fleming stats, Paul Carter.
5 in the first quarter, and that's his second one this quarter, so 7-1.
Chipped it to Clossy. Clossy comes towards a half forward. Jolly presents, gets up, marks, and he turned around and played on quickly. He's agile enough, goes in the direction of Bedgegood. Johnson's back there as well, couldn't quite mark. Ball in dispute, working hard, Bedgegood, handballs over the top, but Willis, the big boy, picked it off, sold some candy, handballed nicely to Baboon, gave it to Coyle, and the Parrots are away, out towards Marriott.
Marriott lets it bounce in front of him, just beats it inside, tries to go inside, gives him a don't argue, but the boundary umpire beats them both.
Fair bit of niggle, boys, isn't there?
Yeah, it's red hot this game. Both sides realise what's at stake. Mafra looking for their 6th win in 11 years, and Leongatha for their first after going down in the last 2 previous grand finals. Hacked out of the contest through Brown, bounces just inside the boundary line, the half-forward flank for the Parrots, as we're just coming up on 20-minute mark, and no change to the score since last time. 24-point margin in favour of Leongatha.
So you're a man up, Mafra, right now. Do you put someone behind the ball with the state of the game, or do you play him up around the footy maybe, or try and be a little bit more attacking?
Attack. Get back into this one, and this is where they go through the middle of Jolly. He runs away from McGrath, has one bounce. The youngster, the speed demon, Jolly unloads to the pocket. It's all Leongatha, and reading it nicely was Chris Baboon for the Parrots, the captain. of this Leongatha side. The co-captain, I should say, as Baboon kicks nicely to McGrath, who wouldn't have liked to see the heels of Jolly. However, he's a cool customer to put it behind him and to play the game. McGrath kicks it down towards Stone direction, in front, couldn't mark it. Good work by Chalmers, Hamble's inboard, Olden has it. Checks his kick, nice one to Ganane. Open forward line, he'll have to slow this down, does Ganane.
Marriott's
Tommy Marriott.
Ganane puts it over the top
Put
in
the
that
Jets
direction
on, put
of
the Jets
Marriott.
on.
It's Marriott and Geishan. Coming in to help though was Porter for the Eagles, and Porter will switch it up. That's two, they can raffle it. O'Brien has it on the wing, chips it over the top, goes high in the air. It's a poor kick in the end, and Westaway takes the mark.
I'm going to do a quick around the grounds for Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland. Half-time of the A-grade netball sees Traralgon 31 leading Druin 26 as Westaway unloads down the line. Willis sets himself, as does Adams. Adams gets a fist on. Hilberg, a chain of handballs, ends up with Willis. Hacks it forward. It's all Mafra and all Sam Fleming back there. Gathers on the bounce, chips one over the top and finds James Hutz. Hutz plays on quickly, goes wide to the near side. Hudson Holmes finds himself free over the back, marks nicely. Handballs over the top to Johnson. Willis puts pressure on.
Oh, good run.
Up time. O'Brien leaves it behind. Reading the play nicely is Hopkins. Releases out wide inside the corridor to Hayden Brown. He marks and sees there's nothing up forward, just slows up play. Finally looks for Ganane. Does it carry? It does. Ganane drops it though. Gathers, ducks inside one, handballs inside the Stone, puts the ball on the boot.
Good pressure.
And great pressure. Sees the ball hit the right hand behind upright for a free kick.
Obviously, we got the Romantic down at the minute, but I like their play then. They just went slow. They got it there. They didn't bomb away. Fleming sitting behind the footy. Nice slow play into their forward 50. It didn't result in a goal, but it did result in a stoppage in their forward 50.
Porter kicks it outside his defensive 50. Fleming has to work hard. Tapped it out towards Carr. Quick kick goes high. Bennett direction. Great work. And well read by Mitch Bennett. 24-point margin at the moment. 22 minutes have gone. Great work by Jolly to mark and pick that one off. The run and carry's been important. Goes Sheen direction. Puts one hand up. Can't mark it. Over for a boundary throw in. Quickly around the grounds thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland Stores. Just repeating in the reserves, it was Tigers winning the premiership, defeating Leongatha. They won it 8-7-55 to Leongatha 5-8-38. And it was in the under-18s Traralgon winning, and in the under-16s Maui winning.
Boundary throw in deep inside Mafra's forward 50. Sheen knocks it backwards. Free kick.
Goes to Sheen.
The way of
Sheen.
Yep.
Going the way of Sheen. Free kick for Darren Sheen deep inside Mafra's forward 50 as the big fella's going to go back and line up for his third goal. Kick the first two goals of the game for Mafra as looks to just get a bit of momentum going the way of the Eagles. Can Darren Sheen. He'll line up 30 metres out, 45-degree angle, makes his way inside 50. We'll know by the reaction once the ball comes off the boot. On the boot now, lays back, runs towards a corridor, looking for some teammates to high-five because this ball has gone straight through the middle, reduces the margin back to 18 points.
They've had a little bit of momentum here, Mafra, no doubt about that, but I'm really impressed with Tom Jolly. He got sent off earlier. The last probably 5 minutes, he's been everywhere. He's carried the footy through the middle parts of the ground. Once again, he's the one who got that entry into the forward 50. He's stepped up. He's repaying his teammates by playing some really good footy.
And the margin in Leongatha's favour is now 18 points. We've played 23 minutes into this second quarter. Carpet Country scoreboard reads Leongatha 9-3-57, Mafra 6-3-39.
Back in the middle. Yeah, Butcher was the one, put it on his boot, goes to half forward. Johnson is there, just tapped it in front of him, goes again. Johnson does well, gets to 50, a barrel inside. Oh, Bennett marks it on the goal line, slams it home, and that could be a danger sign back there as football went 100 mile an hour, but in the end, Mafra get the goal.
Someone got decapitated down here.
And Butcher said it at quarter time. If we get it in there, we're a chance. And that's what they've done. Every time they get it in there, they're a chance at scoring. I'm sure they'd be down or be pretty close now with their inside 50s, but they're just getting it in there quickly. One-on-ones in their forwards. One-on-one forwards beat their defenders most times.
Carpet Country scoreboard, 24-minute mark second quarter. The difference is now 12 points. Leongatha 9-3-57, Mafra 7-3-45. Inside 50s are now 12-10. Leongatha's way this quarter.
Ball back in the middle. Sculling knocks the ball forward. Off the line, Vernon taps it in the path of Olden. His kick off the ground goes to Ganane. Gets called to play on. Wheels around. Has time to go wide. Fleming and Dunn. Dunn works Fleming underneath the ball and takes a strong mark in between two Maffra Eagles and has an opportunity to arrest some of that momentum that was going in the way of the Eagles, and has a chance to kick his 5th of the game in a first half of football. Just ticked over 25 minutes, 18-point margin in favour of Maffra. Must add, just a reminder, and to those that have just tuned in, Leongatha have one less on the field, as it was Luke Bowman being sent off about 5 minutes ago. So coming in for his opportunity for a 5th goal. Dunn, tight angle, puts the ball on the boot, hangs it out to the left. It doesn't come back this time and goes through for a minor score. Some accurate kicking from both sides. Sees 16 goals cumulative and only 7 behinds.
Paul Carter on the Carpet Country scoreboard. Carpet Country supporting country football across Gippsland.
13-point lead to Leongatha, 9-4-58 to Maffra, 7-3-45. Almost 26 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Ball back into play out there was Channing, who kicks it down the line. Leongatha, Coyle and Baboon crashed into each other. It allowed the Eagles to get one over the top to Connolly. Kicks it towards half forward. Back there is Chalmers for the Parrots. Handball's inboard to Dunn. It was. Now it falls in the hands of Westaway. His kick goes high half forward, and Fleming goes back and marks in front of Zach Vernon. Fleming just starting to work his way into this game.
Question I was going to ask you boys, with only a couple of minutes left in this quarter, do Leongatha throw an extra one behind the ball and only go with 4 forwards, even though they're one man down?
13-point margin. It's a good question they lead by. That's why you're one of the superstar coaches in Gippsland, Troy Makepeace, posing all the tough questions as Walker kicks towards half forward, goes along the ground. Maskell is there. Handball inboard to McGrath. His little kick just goes 5 metres. Play on to the umpire. Quick handball from Westaway to Maskell. Left foot kick, nice there. One to Vernon, who can't mark at his chest. Vernon and Hutz, both desperation, both attacking the football. Hutz kicks it towards half forward. And Bedgood marks.
Bedgood marks, 70 metres out. Goes inside 50. Sheen sets himself from the back at the front. Gets it at the second attempt. Handballs over the top. Bennett is tackled straight away, driven into the ground. Alexander off the ground. Dribbles it through.
What a goal.
And goals for the Eagles. They're only 7 points behind. Eagles are on top here, but still trail.
Absolutely on top, and their 17 to 18 men makes that much difference. It's not funny. We've seen Fleming is starting to get involved along half back because he's got no opponent. He's spare along half back. Sheen again, he's just a mammoth presence up in their forward 50. They go through him nearly every time, but something comes of everything he does.
27-minute mark, second quarter, 7-point difference. Leongatha 9-4-58, Maffra 8-3-51 on the Carpet Country scoreboard.
Well, we've got 4 in a row from the Eagles late in the second quarter to close this margin, as they have the advantage. They're back in the middle. O'Brien wins it again for the Eagles. Right foot kick goes to half forward. Bedgood is there. The bounce just eluded him. Chalmers gathered it. Handball to McGrath. McGrath's handball was picked off by Butcher, who gave it to Adams. It was O'Brien. Holmes does well. Sold some candy. Underground handball. Misses Butcher now. Handballs over the top to Bedgood. Nice little tap onto O'Brien. Hard up on the boundary line. 45. Puts it in the hot spot. They close. Sheen can't mark. There's a free kick against Bennett. And it's going in the hands of Coyle of Leongatha.
Right, Scuzz, every time it goes in there, something's going to happen.
Bedgood's been brilliant the last 2-3 minutes, hasn't he?
Sure has, as Chris Baboon has it for the Parrots. Comes to the near side, looking for Stone on his own, should mark. Good little closing speed and a spoil by Patch Adams. And in front of the can bar, which is absolutely chockers this afternoon at Ted Summerton Reserve, we've got a boundary throw in. 28.5 minutes gone. The margin 7 points. Been a good fight back from this Eagle side.
As you'd expect, they've been very good at doing that, as Willis knocks it forward. No one in particular, and the umpire would deem that to be play on, and goes out for a boundary throw in another 20 metres around. Still in Maffra's forward half, as the ruckmen are going to go at it again, is Jones and Willis. Willis knocks it forward again. Brown at speed, sockers it off the ground, goes and gets it again, sockers it again. Petro in front, marks strongly in front of Hilberg. Nice defensive mark there from Andrew Petro, and will relieve pressure out to Lockie Channing, half-back flank.
How long did the first quarter go for, Paul?
31. Sorry, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Channing kicks down the line to the wing. No one can mark it. Good spoil. Porter was there. Handball inboard to Carr. And the half-time siren sounds. And it's been a good little fight back. A 24-point margin at quarter time for Leongatha has now been reduced to 7 points as the Eagles took full advantage of having 17 men on the field for the Parrots, and it hurt them dearly. They kicked 4 goals, the Eagles, to close out this first half, as the score now reads Leongatha are 9-4-58. The Eagles are 8-3-51. It's half-time.
Here we go.
And, of course, half-time here at the Ted Summit at a reserve, and it's all thanks to the Isuzu Ute team at 18 Saskia Way, Morwell. They've got the brand new D-Max and the MUX in store now. LMCT 10285.
The TR Morning Crew. Each week we have Trade It Tuesday, and we traded Bell
For Mafra, their leading stat winner to half-time is Cal Porter. He had a big second quarter there, 8 disposals, taking his total to 12 to half-time. Jack Johnson also had a good second quarter. He's had 8 kicks and 2 handballs to half-time for 10 disposals. Sam Fleming has had 5 in each quarter for 10 disposals. Tom Jolly, when he came on, he certainly made his presence felt in the second half of that quarter. He had 4 kicks during that second half and a clearance and a couple of marks. He's had 9 disposals to half-time. Lachlan Channing also 9 to half-time. Alex Carr 6, 5 to Danny Butcher and 4 to Winston Geishan.
Well, boys, certainly Leongatha had 17 men, didn't they, in that second half of the second quarter. And Mafra certainly made them pay. They kicked 4 goals straight in a period, about a 15-minute period, and pretty much it was a win. They were down to 17 men. Costly, Troy. Yeah,
absolutely. So a bit of ill discipline for both sides, really. In the first quarter, we saw Jolly sent off at the 24-minute mark. John Ganane got sent off for Leongatha late in the first term. And then, as we saw halfway through that term, or maybe a little bit later, maybe 20-minute mark of that second quarter, we saw Luke Bowman get sent off for an indiscretion behind play. And you'd hope, for Leongatha's sake, Scuzz, that doesn't come back to bite him, because grand final, there's no second chance, is there?
No, there's not. And the thing with it, it's not the AFL where they don't have 15 minutes off. 1 man down is massive, especially with a team like Mafra, who use the footy so well. They'll find that loose man and go through him. They'll run it through the other side. They'll do everything they can to go through that loose one. We've seen Fleming in that last quarter when he had all that space in the back half. He just mopped up everything, and his ball use forwards perfect. And like you said, I reckon Jolly's that quarter, he repaid Mafra big time, man. He's one of the guys who got sent off, but then his run and carry, his ball use going into the forward 50 was brilliant. I thought he's one that could hold himself high out of the ones that have been sent off.
Well, before we go to a break, we'll get around the ground scores for you for Harvey Norman Furniture, Gippsland Stores. There's some big games happening at the moment.
Three-quarter time in the A grade. We see Traralgon 49, leading Druin 35. So big margin at three-quarter time in favour of Traralgon. And
Druin went straight into that grand final as well, so they have finished on top of the ladder. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out with 1 quarter to go there. In earlier games in the netball, in the 13 and unders, Sale defeated Bairnsdale. The 15 and unders, Wonthaggi Premiers defeating Leongatha. The 17 and unders, it was Mafra over Traralgon. C grade, Leongatha knocked off Wonthaggi, and in the B grade there, it was Moe defeating Leongatha. While in the football, the under-16s, Moe defeated Traralgon. They reversed the result there in the under-18s, Traralgon defeating Moe, and then in the reserves, it was Morwell defeating Leongatha. And that is all done. As we said, it's half-time here, and the margin is 7 points in favour of Leongatha. It's been a great first half. We've got a half to go here at the Ted Summerton Reserve, as these sides are about to make their way back out onto the oval for the second half of football in the TRFM Gippsland League Grand Final for season 2017. And it's all, you can say hello to the weekend, the brand new Isuzu D-Max or MUX from Gippsland Isuzu Ute, LMCT 10285.
TRFM is
the biggest hit.
TRFM.
Every goal, supporting your team from the bench, bus, or even the beach, sharing in the highs and lows. For the first time ever, get AFL, NRL and netball games live, included in all Telstra mobile plans and select recharges. Now you can stream it live, stream it fast, and stream it data-free, only with Telstra. Download the apps today.
There's nothing like a perfectly cooked meal in a comfortable venue, and that's exactly what you can expect at the Gray's Bistro at the Sale Greyhounds. It's now sporting a completely revamped spring menu, focusing on seasonal and local produce. Make sure you head down and catch the AFL Grand Final on the big screen Saturday, September 30 for 2 happy hours, $2 pots, free nibbles and Great Northern Full Strength on tap. Unleash yourself at the Gray's Bistro and Sale Greyhounds.
At the Sale Greyhounds, come and play. Go Harvey Norman.
Harvey Norman's Super Secret Sale. Everything store-wide is on sale. Prices too hot to advertise. Red hot deals available in-store only. TVs, audio systems, priced at clear. Cooking, refrigeration, washers and dryers, prices slashed. Appliances, coffee machines, floor care, heavily discounted. Notebooks, desktops and all-in-ones, bundle savings. Cameras, printers, phones, reduced. Lounges and dining, priced to sell. Bedding in Manchester, prices crushed. Everything store-wide, priced to go. Harvey Norman's Super Secret Sale must end Sunday.
Stopping all stations to Carpet Country. Next stop, the Carpet Country Superstore. Carpet Country, Carpet Country, Carpet Country, Carpet Country, Carpet Country. Now arriving, Carpet Country.
All you need to know is, if you want quality floor and wall coverings, there's only one place to go. With the widest selection of floor coverings and blinds in Gippsland, it has to be Carpet Country. Carpet Country, Sale, Lakes Entrance, Hayfield, and the Traralgon Superstore.
The roar of the crowd, the final siren, and an ice-cold beer. Monticello's and the footy finals go together like a meat pie and sauce. Get into the game with these amazing specials. Jim Beam and Cola 10-pack, only $35, end Sunday. Jack Daniel's 700ml, just $39.99. And Giessen Sauvignon Blanc, just $9.80 each when you buy 3 or more bottles. Get into the game this weekend with Monticello's. Superstore, corner Tramway Road and Princess Drive, Morwell, Monash Road, Newborough, and Goers Lane, Leongatha.
Do bigger things with the new Samsung Galaxy Note 8. Now available on Optus at Harvey Norman with the stunning new Infinity display. The new intelligent S Pen for easy note-taking, even while the screen is asleep. Zoom in and stay sharp with dual rear cameras, plus built-in water and dust resistance. Get your new Samsung Galaxy Note 8 on an Optus plan to suit you. Now at Harvey Norman. And do bigger things. Harvey Norman, your destination for Samsung Galaxy Note 8.
For Gippsland Isuzu Ute, Victorian Dealership of the Year, LNCT 10285. It's Gippsland Live on TRFM.
Half-time here, Leongatha back out on the park at Ted Summerton Reserve in Moe. It's a 7-point margin. Mafra made a good job of it in that second half. And Mafra 8-3-51, trailing those 7 points. Leongatha a 9-4-58. Goal scorer so far for Leongatha, Chrissy Dunn has 4. 2 goals to Brock Davidson, and then singles to Hayden Brown and Tom Marriott, while for Mafra, 3 to Darren Sheen up forward. Mitch Bennett has 2 along with Dylan Alexander, and then singles to Daniel O'Brien. Brad Thomas was down in the rooms at half-time. He was down there for the all-new Land Rover Discovery at Gippsland Land Rover. What did you find out, Bradley?
Yeah, boys, I got to the Leongatha rooms and they all took their jumpers off. They're all on their backs. They've got the ice vests on. I'm not going to say they're spent, but it's bloody warm down here, boys, on the boundary. And I couldn't actually get into the inner sanctum, but when I was in the actual first room they were just saying about calmness, be calm, stick to our structures, stick to our plans. I think you'll see a pretty fired up Leongatha for the second half, boys. And the first thing that they mentioned when they walked in was no more send-offs, in a pretty stern voice, boys. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Brad. Scuzz, of course, that's a key moment, isn't it? No more send-offs, of course. We've had 3 so far in a half of football. And Leongatha still got one off, have they, Troy? Is that correct? They
still got one off.
A couple of moments, not too long.
About 5 minutes into this third term, you'll see them back to full strength. And as mentioned, they can't afford to have any more off. So like I said, already had 30 minutes with 17 players. You can't afford to go 45 minutes with 17 players. It's just, you won't win the game. So who's off at the minute, boys? Luke Bowman. So Bowman's one of their best players, midfielder. Ganane's one of their best players in their forward 50. And on the other side, Joey's one of their best wingers, midfielders for Mafra. So it's not like they're role players. These are the best players that these teams have got. It just kills you, especially when you got teams like these two who use the footy so well. They'll just pick out that single player that's spare around half back or around the middle part of the ground. But I've been impressed with Leongatha around the footy. I reckon Mafra's biggest trait, apart from their ball use, is that they're just so hard around the footy. They win that clearance and they bust away from the clearance. But I reckon Leongatha's been really good at negating that. They've done well themselves. They've got it going forward.
It's going to be interesting once Bowman's back on, how they go. But how long have Mafra got, boys? Got 3 or 4 minutes without Bowman?
Yeah.
And then, then it's game on again.
Paul Carter, anything stand out from a stat point of view in that first half of football before we get it underway?
Only the fact that it really ebbed and flowed. You know, they had one team really dominate than the other team, and it seemed to go that way. And it possibly had a bit to do with who had their 18 on 17 there for a while as well. So the inside 50s, even though they're coming in blocks.
Well, we tipped at the start of the day it was going to be a cracking game of football. We have witnessed a very, very good one. We've had 17 goals kicked in a half of football. We've had 3 send-offs, and the clouds just start to roll in. Have we got another twist in this game?
Breeze has dropped too, boys.
As you'd expect, a big second half coming up here from the Ted Summerton Reserve. The two sides are all set. Leongatha still with 17 out on the park, and it'll be Willis and Connolly to get this third quarter underway as the umpire goes bang, and Connolly got high, tapped it down to himself nearly. Willis had to squeeze a handball out as he was tackled. Stone does well at ground level to flick a handball back towards Maskell. Working hard was Carr. Stone goes again, flicks a handball out. Sheen comes high. Working hard at ground level now is Butcher. Slaps it on his boot, goes straight up and down. Chalmers goes back with a flight, kept his eye on the ball, couldn't mark it though. Now he's in a bit of trouble as Bedgood swoops on it, handballs to himself. Great work by Tommy Marriott to handball out wide. Allows Baboon. Well, Renoy kept his feet, but he gave away a free kick, boys. What do you think?
Not much in it. How strong was Marriott around the contest then, boys? That was unbelievable play. It was a certain goal for Mafra if he wasn't strong over the ball.
So Baboon kicks it out wide, looking for Willis. Connolly tried to spoil. Good one by Adams as well. At ground level, Vernon does well. Handballs over his shoulder. Tries Hilberg, well picked off by Porter. Gets a handball down to O'Brien. Squeeze a quick one to Channing. That was to Connolly. Back to Channing. Has a flying shot to the hot spot.
Player down in the
ball over was Bennett. Leongatha got all the numbers. McGrath handballs directly towards the boundary line. And the umpire said that is all fair. We're going to boundary throw in. Frantic stuff to open the third quarter.
When you see a player go down in the square, you look for the umpire to see if a free kick's going to get paid. None was paid, but the result being a boundary throw in favour of Mafra. Sheen gets pushed out of it by Willis. Willis hacks the ball, has a fresh area. Olden slaps the ball on the boot, goes 90 degrees sideways towards the boundary, and we'll have another boundary throw in. Scars, you still had a good look at that one. Was it a free kick, or did Sheen play for that a little?
I reckon he might have played for it. Big Benny Willis, how strong is he? We've seen him around the contest. He's won some really clear tap outs to advantage.
Ruckman go out again. This time Sheen protects the fall of the ball. Goes and gets it again. Tackled by Westaway. And we'll have another ball up 40 metres out from goal. Both teams just starting to feel each other out and find their feet. Sheen works to the front, gets the ball down. Marriott swings around, hacks it 70 metres clear. It's all space. It's 1 on 2. The 2 being Hilberg. Gathers, wheels around, gets to 60. Open goal square. Direction, bounces.
It's through.
Great goal, coast to coast. Tommy Marriott to Aaron Hilberg gets a goal for the Parrots against the flow of play.
And he had 2 to beat, who were Andrew Petro and Sam Fleming, 2 of the best defenders that Mafra got. He's beat them both and turned. He was probably 70 metres out when he turned, took a couple of steps, kicked it as long and as far as he could, and it just bounced through on the last bounce. It was a brilliant goal.
Important first goal in the third quarter has gone to Leongatha at the 2-minute mark. And on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, they're 10-4-64, leading Mafra by 13 points. The Eagles are 8-3-51.
Well, that was certainly against the trend. It spent a lot of time in Mafra's forward 50, and then great call, Troy, to coast. This time Willis got up high, slapped it forward. Coming off the line, though, there was Adams, who kicked it out towards Butcher now. He can gather in front of Maskell. Swings back onto the right foot. Right foot goes towards the top of the 50. Bedgood couldn't take it. Clash of bodies from Willis and Carr. Carr goes again. Chalmers puts him in a tackle and a suplex and dumps him to the ground. The umpire said, let's ball it up.
Geez, he's been good, Willis, hasn't he?
He's been in everything. He's at ground level in the ruck contest, working his way back and forward. He's playing every role possible. He's going to contest this against Sheen again. Goes up straight to Carr. Carr's kick smothered off the boot by Marriott. Releases pressure again towards the boundary, and we should see this go over for a boundary throw-in.
Boys, that was a big moment thanks to Monticello's, of course. Jim Beam and Cole, the 10 packs, only $35. Aaron Hilberg getting that goal when they're one down.
Yeah, one down against the flow. Mafra had the ball in their forward 50 for about the first 2 minutes 40.
Yep.
Straight down the other end for a goal for Leongatha.
Huge moment as he's about to come back on, does Bowman.
Luke Bowman gets a high five from
he owes him, doesn't he?
From Bo Vernon. Says go on and repay what your indiscretion was. It goes inside 50, tap down to Ganane. Ganane gets tackled and free kick goes to Plemming to Hutz. Now there's no advantage. They looked to take advantage. The umpire pulled them up. Then they took the advantage. The umpire said, no, you're going back behind the mark.
Hutz is the one who gets the free kick in the end. And he looks to the change room side here at Moe. Just chips it over the top, and Brown comes in. Good work by Johnson. I think two Leongatha boys spoiled themselves, and Willis again puts a big smother on, stays in the field of play. Oh, Vernon went high, tunneled in, goes to Johnson. It's inside the opposition coach's box.
Nothing there, boys. Nothing there.
Got tunneled.
There's no free kick. That is a free kick, I think.
Doesn't realise he's got Vernon. He doesn't know he's got it.
That is a free kick for tunnelling on Johnson.
That's where, though, boys. If he had a left foot then, it wouldn't have been an issue then.
Exactly right. So Vernon has the free kick. The margin is 13 points in favour of the Parrots. Short kick's going to be picked off by Porter, who marks it, and the umpire called play on. It's a bit hard to stop when you're running forward.
It's called inertia, boys.
Goodness gracious, the umpire surely said to Calvin Porter, I'm sorry.
Unless he said it didn't carry the required 15 metres.
That would have been harsh too. Porter will go again at this one. So to sink Olden. Crashing through was O'Brien on Brown. They shaped up to each other.
All right, Makey.
As it should do. It's a grand final, boys.
Both teams should be looking at the fact, though, we've had 3 send-offs in the first half and not overstep that mark. Boundary throw-in. Scaling works to the front. Held off the ball there was Johnson. Held off by Brown. Wins a free kick on true centre wing. And just weighing up his options, has Channing inside the corridor. Wheels around, goes long. Sheen sets himself just inside 50. 3-on-1, nearly brings it down. One hand held, and gets a free kick because the other hand that he didn't have on the ball was wrapped up by his team opponent. Plays on quickly, goes wide to the pocket. Bedgood marks in front of Westaway and will go, but no, he goes into the corridor. Disciplined play by Bedgood, finds Danny Butcher.
God, that's poor checking, isn't it?
Directly in front, 30 metres out, spot on there, Springer. Poor checking, not filtering back fast enough to clog up the holes. And Mafra will line up directly in front. 6.5 minutes gone in this third term. 13-point margin in favour of Leongatha as Butcher makes his way in. Distance won't be a problem. Puts the ball on the boot. Watching it closely. And sneaks inside the left upright and goes through for a goal. And that's a good response for the Eagles.
We've spoken about Big Sheeny up in that forward 50. It's like bees to a honeypot. Everyone goes to him, but he just made a contest, and that's what he's there. He just stands there and he gets free kicks, or he takes a mark, or he brings it to ground, and that's another example. Free kick, gets it out to, who was it out there on the Bedgood, send it back into Butcher, a nice finish.
We're back to the half-time margin of 7 points in Leongatha's favour. 10-4-64 to Mafra's 9-3-57 on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Great game of football here on a Saturday afternoon, the last one for the year. Connolly and Skelling got high. Bowman in the middle of the ground. Couldn't get away from the tackle of Alexander. And we'll do this one again. 7-point margin. The premiership quarter, as they call it. Again, Skelling got up high to Bowman direction. Dragged down as he didn't have it. Jolly's kick was partially smothered. Good work back there by Sinclair towards Olden. Comes through Porter, puts a little barrel on. Cade Renoy's got the good stance.
Good hands.
He's got the strong hands on Forrester as Cade Renoy will go back. Slight angle and look to close this margin to a point. Cade Renoy.
One-on-one contested mark inside 50 from Cade Renoy. We know we can kick goals on the run, so let's see if he can go back and slot them from a set shot.
Renoy, the 19-year-old, will kick from 40 metres. He's got one goal. Has he through? There it is, Cade Renoy. The first goal of the afternoon. It doesn't matter how they go through, Springer. It's all worth 6.
And it is, and that's Mafra's effort around the contest at the minute's what got him back in the game. Right now, every time Leongatha get the ball, It's bang, tackle, up again, Mafra, and they're just getting the ball forward to their one-on-ones. At the stoppage there, four forwards, two forwards up at the contest, a four-man forward line for Mafra. It's working well.
1 point the difference, 8-minute mark, third quarter. Leaguer 10 goals 4, Mafra 10 goals 3 on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
The Eagles chant goes up from the Eagles supporters. They fight their way back into this contest. Jones over the top. Davidson off the line, off the wing. His kick smothered nicely by Butcher. Has to go back and gather again, does Davidson. This time he's wrapped up in a strong tackle. Still inside the centre square as tension is building around the ground as it is on the ground.
Massive crowd. Sorry, Troy. Massive crowd here today. 4,853 people. It's a $48,000 gate here this afternoon. It's a massive one, a record.
Quick around the grounds for Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland. It's all over in the A-grade netball. It is Traralgon 62 have defeated Druin 49 as Traralgon premiers in the A-grade.
Back here, the margin is 1 point. We've got a cracking game of football. We'll get down to spring in a moment. There's a couple of dark clouds just rolling in. Is the weather going to come and have an effect on this game as we get another ball up? Brad Thomas for Land Rover.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, mate. They're pretty high up. It's just a bit of cloud cover over the sun, but there's nothing behind it. Thanks, Jane Bunn.
So Jones.
I beat you, Makey.
Jones against Scowling. Porter's starting to get involved. His kick goes high. Sinclair and Butcher. Carr went back with a fly to the ball. Bowman was there. Gave it across. Sheen picked it off though. Tried to handball over the top to the runner Jolly. He took on the tackler. Great work by Sinclair, but he got one high from Sheen.
The initial contact was above the shoulder, and then Sheen looked to wrap him up around the waist, but the free kick was there. Going in the way of Sinclair. Goes long and wide. Wobbly kick. Fleming over the back, takes a strong mark over the top of Kyle Cooper, and again will repel another effort forward. Chips the ball over the top. Danny Butcher has been in everything this quarter, boys, as has Willis for Leongatha. Both been prominent. Butcher goes wide, has Hutz on his own. Hutz chips it over the top to Geishan. Pressure comes. Weathers a storm, plays on quickly, goes inside 50.
Good juke.
Cade Renoy on a strong lead in front of Forrester again. Will line up on a slight angle 40 metres out from goal, and this will put Mafra back in front from about midway through the first term when Leongatha put the pressure on and kicked away. Mafra have fought back strongly, and this man is starting to get his hands on the footy. Cade Renoy. They just have many options up forward to kick goals. Makes his way in, puts the ball on the boot. This one's not a wobbler, trying to bring it back. Can't bring it back enough and goes through for a minor score, and that will square up the ledger.
At 10 goals, 64 apiece at the 11-minute mark of the third quarter on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Good goal kicking, good accuracy so far in this game of football as Maskell, left foot, drop punt, clears the danger zone, big pack forms. Carr was there, tackled by Walker, tried to don't argue quickly on Marriott. His kick goes to Benchgood. Great pickup. Coming back there was Sinclair. Great work there by Chalmers it was. Gave it across now to Coyle. His kick goes out. In front was Hilberg, couldn't mark. Adams was at ground level. Porter hit it over his head. Porter goes again with Bowman. Couldn't quite keep it in. And we have another boundary throw in 60 metres around from this Mafra goal as they build and build.
It's set up for a cracking finish. We're just gone 12 minutes into this third term.
Couple of droplets of rain now, boys, as sore as it is.
Those clouds obviously not high enough. Quick kick goes inside forward 50. Good work by Coyle. Handballs out to the hot spot. Sinclair goes in, so does Jolly. Two hard nuts at it. Jolly strong tackle. Porter stands up, so does McGrath with a handball. Out wide to Marriott, who thumps it forward. Gets it towards the wing. Hutz picks it off though and drives it back in. But marking that one there was Cade Maskell.
Hurt himself there, Hutz.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Looks in a lot of pain inside the centre square, and that would leave Willis free, and Hilbert and Skelling. Going in there is Kyle Cooper, gathers, tackled straight away by Hudson Holmes. Centre half forward for the Parrots.
Inside 50s, Paul, this quarter.
It is 8 to Mafra, 2 to Leongatha.
Right
Mafra Brains Trust telling Danny Butcher to go behind the ball to try and spills out to Marriott, runs to 40, puts the ball on the boot, but favours the left-hand side of the goal post as boys James Hutz.
What do you reckon, boys?
He's done. It's a leg issue. He can't put his left foot down at all. Wouldn't be surprised. He's getting carried off actually by big Trent Noble and a trainer from Mafra.
They need Trent Noble out there to carry
How
James
fit does Trent Noble look?
Well, he could just about put a jersey on, but they're in a bit of strife. One of their key defenders now is
keep
on the
an eye
bench.
out, boys.
Absolutely, the kick comes in and it goes out wide towards Petro. Handballs back to Fleming. He goes further out wide towards Porter, and a strong tackle takes him over the line from Sinclair.
Porter starts this quarter, Paul. Sorry, Porter.
Yep.
2 kicks and a handball taking him up to 15 for the day.
13 minutes have gone. We've got a 1-point margin, and it is in favour of Leongatha. They lead it by 1 single point. It is inside their 50. Carr tried to crash through, didn't have the football. So does Fleming. Marriott goes in as well. Football down at ground level with Cooper. Marriott now tried to get a handball out, couldn't do so. McGrath did. Got it. Kick was smothered though from Stone. And again, a stoppage. Top of the 50. The umpire said no, that's holding the ball. So we've got a free kick going in the way of Leongatha. On the bottom of that pack is Cameron Stone. He's too far out to score. Stone will kick it inside 50. The leading target from Dunn. Got his hand down. Play on, said the umpire. Porter was there to help out for the Eagles. Took on the tackler of Stone. Handball goes in the Sheen direction. Oh, he took 2 of mine. Handball's over it. Sheen got one over the shoulder. Goes out towards underground handball from Alexander. No one was there. That's deliberate. No, it's not. What would I know? I'm 150 metres away.
Got your glasses on.
Still can't see. Boundary throw in. 14.5 minutes gone. We've got a 1-point margin. Troy Makepeace on TRFM.
Out on the outer wing, Sheen electing to take the ruck up against Skelling. Skelling works the ball forward. McGrath hacks his kick out of the pack. Gets to the 50. Dunn. Handballs inside. Goes to Cooper. Cooper's kick is smothered. Jolly gets tackled. Manages to get his kick out inside the centre circle. Skelling fumbles the ball forward. Ends up with Sinclair. Sinclair releases Chalmers. Chalmers goes inside 50. Contest. Willis at the back. Fleming at the front. Cuts off another 4A forward. Releases out to Johnson, and Johnson goes to Geishan.
Geishan on the half-back flank for the Eagles. Nice little kick. Cade Renoy starting to get involved in this game. Renoy on the wing. We can chip it over to Holmes. He's got a bit of space. He didn't decide to play on, which was probably smart because Leongatha had some numbers back.
Boys, Hutt's just getting some tape on his left knee, and I think he'll be back out shortly.
Holmes has kicked towards the Jones direction. Back there was Maskell. His kick goes high. Hudson Holmes will fly for this one in front. Willis is there, the big boy. Head over the football. Kick off the ground from McGrath was in danger. And the advantage falls in out there towards Johnson. He can kick it out wide to Clossy. Clossy can handle over the top, but he took on a tackler. Just took his time. Jolly closes. Great tackle by Sinclair. And the Parrots are away the other way. Dunn has it. Half-back flank. Chips it over the top to Hilberg. Fleming with a good spoil for the Eagles. It's going from inside 50 to 50 they go. And the Eagles' short kick found Johnson half-back flank.
Johnson doesn't really. I thought just about to say he's going to take a breather, but he goes inside the corridor, finds Connolly. Connolly's got some players inside again. One of them is Cal Porter. Held up on the mark by McGrath at his centre half-back. Chips the ball, goes to ground level, goes straight to Vernon. Vernon's tackled by Channing, falls to Willis. Willis goes forward to Marriott. Marriott quick hands to McGrath. McGrath runs to centre half forward, goes out wide. Hilberg and Petro. Petro gets a big fist on it and goes towards the boundary and saves the day for the Eagles inside 54 Parrots.
Scars, what a battle between Petro and Hilberg.
Absolutely brilliant. I love the way Petro plays down back. He's played forward most of his life. When he spoils, they go to row 13, don't they? He gives them an absolute hide when he spoils.
This is what I like. You look at him now. He's all over Hilberg, not letting him any space at all. I like that in a defender.
He's got lots of niggle in him, hasn't he?
Well, from the stoppage, Brown busts his way through. Is it Brown?
I
tell you what, there's your 4 and 20 goal of the day at pace from the stoppage from a boundary throw-in. And Hayden Brown gets his second of the day.
That's the type of thing that we normally see from Mafra around the contest. It's Willis up in the ruck that's really dominant at the minute. He puts it on a plate for these guys. Brown through the contest at pace, runs in, kicks a nice goal, 30 out on a slight angle.
And McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard sees Leongatha 7 points ahead at the 17-minute mark of the third quarter. The Parrots are 11-5-71. Mafra 10-4-64.
Brad Thomas, James Hutts.
Yeah, get some severe left leg taping on his knee. I think he'll come back on, boys.
Well, I don't know. I disagree. I reckon he looks very proppy.
He does look proper when he was running up and down, doesn't he?
Well, it's a grand final, boys.
Magic spray.
You need something. If you can find anything in that medical bag, you'll take it right now. You'll know that Hutz will want to get back out there, but you'll know that he won't want to cost his team.
He's going to go to a key defender, the likes of Hilberg or Ganane, and if he's 75%, those guys can hurt him.
Well, let's see what will happen from this stoppage. Great work by Channing. Hamble over the top to Jolly. Inside 50, 2-on-1. Bennett's there!
Good
and
grab.
Bennett the 2. Great reading of the football coming inside 50. Took the mark. Slide angle will go back. And again, try to reduce the margin. This has been a cracking game of football, as you'd expect. The Parrots are looking for their first flag since 2001, and the Eagles are looking for back-to-back. The margin is 7 points at the 18.5-minute mark of the third quarter. He skips in, the traditional skip. Left foot shot on goal. Mitch Bennett! Mitch Bennett, you're an absolute bloody star!
Sheehan loved it, didn't he, behind the goals?
He did, and that's what the cream rises in these games, boys, and he's an absolute jet. He knew as soon as that came off his boot then that was going through. It was a beautiful kick, dead straight. Very, very tight angle, straight through the middle.
And the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard back to a 1-point margin. Leongatha ahead, 11-5-71, leading Maffra 11-4-70. We've played 19 minutes into the third quarter.
Well, we've seen some goals of the day. That was another contender. Brown a couple of moments ago for the Parrots, and then Bennett from the middle. Kick off the ground from Porter. Out in space is Carr on the wing. Clossy tried to shepherd. Carr got tackled by Sinclair. Great tackle. Sinclair, that's holding the ball. The strong defender.
Isn't that 2 critical tackles he's laid in the last couple of minutes to stop any flow forward? Plays on quickly, goes to Davidson. Davidson puts the ball on the boot. 2-on-1 against Dunn, and worked off the ball nicely there. Was Dunn, and falls to Johnson. Johnson comes wide to Porter. Closing was Brown, but Porter marks in front. Defensive side of the wing for the Eagles. Going dangerously into the corridor. That's why, because O'Brien is there free. He has Connolly inside the corridor. Goes to him now, gets to 50. Bedgood free over the top. If Connolly can get it to him, goes in that direction and finds him on a nice lead. 35 metres out, 45-degree angle, and again an opportunity to get Maffra back in front.
I liked what Sheen did then, boys. He just led to space. They all followed him and then dropped back the other way.
And how does Danny O'Brien, the smallest player on the field, get free, 20 metres nowhere around him, inside their forward half of the ground? As Bedgood makes his way in. I'm going to watch his reaction. He loves it off the boot. He goes straight to the people in the crowd and said, how about that one, boys? That went straight through the middle, and the Eagles are in front.
He kicked the goal as it went off his boot.
Didn't even watch it
go through the goals. He turned around and straight up to the crowd. I'll tell you how it happens, Makey. O'Brien's work rate. I watched him through the middle part of the ground. He was on his bike. He just worked really hard into that centre forward region. It was a beautiful kick to him. He was all on his own, but Shane, you're right, Springer. Shane led out wide, opened the space up for him, and it opened the whole game up in the forward 50.
And Maffra have now just taken the lead at the 21-minute mark of the third quarter, 12-4-76, Leongatha 11-5-71 on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Now it's Leongatha's turn through Brown, who had his kick smothered, but he went again, got it in towards Dunn direction. Great work by Marriott, round his body, right foot kick, no one's back there. Plemming does well, the defender for the Eagles. Last line of defence.
Would there be anyone else that would be likely to drop and take a defensive?
He reads it so well. Sam Plemming, kick out wide to the ruckman. Willis closed on Connolly, caused the contest and caused a boundary throw in. 21.5 minutes gone, the premiership quarter, and what a quarter it's been. It's been seesawing affair, but it's a 5-point margin now to the Eagles.
Hutt's still testing out that knee on the bench, still yet to come back on.
Still proppy as, Makey, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'll just
Connolly
eye on that one.
Tapped it down to Alexander. Bowman tackled him, and the umpire this time in the field of play will ball it up.
Boys, how many times we've seen in close games, especially in finals games, in tight situations, something will happen. A big tackle, something will go against the players. It's swung around inside 50 for the Parrots, working back at ground levels. Plemming smothered off the boot by Dunn, falls to Ganane, tackled straight away at the top of the square for the Parrots, and we'll have a ball up. As I was saying, just in games like this, big moments thanks to Monticello, something will happen, either ill discipline or something spectacular that'll just blow this game wide open.
Who will it be? Which superstar and which team from the stoppage? Picked up there, a quick hit off the ground. Into the ruckman. Sculling it is.
Is that it?
That could be the one, the big ruckman. And he's going to run 50, 60 metres and clap everyone's hand on the way. Sculling gets his first.
We've bumped up Benny Willis in the ruck for Leongatha, but Sculling's no good as well. He tapped it to himself. He had a little bit of space in that forward 50. I don't think he meant to do it, but followed up. And that's what good ruckmen do. Followed up his own ruck work, goes forward, little snap through a congested amount of players, and it rolled through for a nice goal.
And so the lead goes back to Leongatha. 23-minute mark, third quarter. They lead by 1 point on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. Leongatha 12-5, 77. Maffra 12-4, 76.
Jones got high, big tap out in the direction of Alexander, but picked up there by Channing. Handball to Campbell towards Jolly direction. The Parrots close, put strong tackles on. Head over it again was Channing. The umpire says, let's ball this one up. Half forward flank build up for the Eagles side.
Well, goals to Hilberg and Sculling in this quarter, and you got Hutz on the bench. Do you roll the dice and throw him on there and test him out?
Let's have a look at it. They go. You'd have to do it before this last quarter, I think. At least give it a couple of minutes. The quick kick goes inside 50. Bedgood's front and square. Gets on the left foot. 1-on-1. Renoy's back there. Sinclair, great spoil. Baboon was back there, the captain of the Parrots. Handball's out to no man's land. Bennett on the boundary line. Goes down. Handball's underground. From the check side, is it Channing? Channing has hit the post.
Talk about
wow,
20 goal of the day. If that was in...
Bedgood was 3-2 inside 50.
Oh, really?
Oh, my goodness. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard this afternoon, Paul Carter.
12-5, 77 apiece. We are at the 24-minute mark of the third quarter.
One more point each and we're equal.
Yeah,
What's
right.
that? Guys, you should have gone with your tip.
Inside. We've still got a quarter to go, boys. Cool your jets. Oh, crunched in the tackle there was Holmes. He'll be...
He's hurt. He's hurt his back, lower back.
Ganane with a big, strong tackle. Hudson Holmes is tough.
Too.
He weighs 43.5 kilos, does Hudson Holmes, but he is tough as nails.
3 of those kilos of the hair on his head.
Exactly. He comes to the bench, he'll be back. This is one of the all-time classics in the TRFM Gippsland League, and we've still got a quarter to go. Sculling does the ruck work. Carr puts it on the boot from the stoppage. Barrels it inside 50. Renoy can't mark. Bedgood dropped it, put it on the boot, dropped it again. Clossey's there, keeps his feet, cat-like. Great work by Bowman. In there as well was Maskell. Ball now in dispute. Bedgood tries to grab it one hand, goes again, handballs to himself. Clossey's there, right foot snap around his body. Great work by Coyle. Spoiled, they went to the danger hotspot. Renoy at pace, swooped on it. Left foot snap around his body. He's going. Minor score, rush through.
Great commentary there, Scud. Well done.
How was Renoy's pace?
25.5-minute mark. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Maffra 12-6, 78. Leongatha 12-5, 77.
Troy Makepeace take over. I'm going to pass out.
Please be like this in the last quarter. It's been a monumental battle from both sides. As Maskell goes along the line, Jones flies from the back. Sculling gets his hands on it. Comes out to Olden, gathers.
Some candy.
Sells the candy.
No one. Who though?
It is 2 Maffra players. One of them Geishan, the other one Walker. Geishan wins the raffle. Goes back from where it came. That kick is not on target.
Sculling.
Jones gathers for Maffra. Gets to the top of 50. Sheen and Bedgood. Going back with courage with Stone. Forced the West away. Comes out to Marriott. Marriott fumbles, gathers, doesn't, gets taken off the ball. Umpire calls play on. Chain of hand passes. Ends up with Stone. Out to Sinclair. Trips at a critical moment. Has Marriott. Marriott takes on Sheen. Trips. Pressure from the Eagles.
In the back. Yep.
And the pressure is relieved. They let it go. I like it. You're exactly right, Springer. Yep. They let it go until there was a clear-cut decision there. And it goes in the way of Joel Sinclair.
I don't normally pump him up.
For the Parrots.
Sinclair.
Maskell inside the corridor, misses the target. Got time. Over the top to Olden. That's a nice kick. Olden on the wing. Goes over the top again to Vernon. Vernon can run and gather. He gathers on the 50. Doesn't take him on. Chips one into Ganane. Grass. Fumbles it at the last minute. Ends up with Plemming. Plemming got time to weigh up option.
What a kick.
Nice kick inside the corner. Relieves pressure. Ends up with Alex Carr in the centre. Coast to coast, Sheen. The kick falls short. Dropped there by Chalmers. Pressure comes. The boon there, tackled by Sheen.
Great work.
The ball.
Sensational. Take your hat off, Leongatha. Take your hat off, Maffra. What a passage of play. 27.5 minutes gone. Third quarter. The margins of one solitary point. And these two sides are giving absolutely everything. Sheen from the stoppage to Channing was there. Over the back was Bedgood. Had to tap it on top of his head. He dives on it again. Bowman tackles him.
This would be one of the best you've seen, Paul.
Definitely.
All right, good chat.
We have a quarter to go. We are at the 28-minute mark. As Sheen takes the ruck work against Sculling. The 360-degree wrist falls out now towards O'Brien. Left foot kick to the hot spot, going back with a fly. Is West away, and he juggled it. Not enough, and it goes over in front of the Mafra faithful for a boundary throw-in.
Sinclair spoiled him then.
Yeah, he did. Dangerous opportunity here for the Eagles late in this third term. Can they get a goal and a buffer? Skelly takes it out of the ruck, but he managed to get the ball to boot. Ends up with Johnson, ducks inside an opponent, puts the ball on the boot, goes towards goal, and hits the post. Second post of the quarter. 2-point margin, 28.5 minutes gone.
Well, McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Mafra 12.779, Leongatha 12.577.
Inside 50s, Paul.
15-10 Mafra's way.
And certainly the last couple of minutes of players belonged all to Mafra inside their 50. Maskell kicks it long out wide, big fly. Willis was there, tapped on there by Butcher, got it back to his 50. Stone comes out the other way, Jolly, good tackle by Stone. Butcher got tackled by Willis. It goes inside 50 though. Channing has the ball. He kicks it around his body. It goes high. Ranui won't fly. So does Boone. It didn't pay the mark. The Boone gave it to Marriott. Oh, quick kick. Lands in the hands of Bowman. And Luke Bowman said, let's just slow it down, boys.
Quick kick inside the corridor to a Leongatha opponent, a Leongatha teammate. How good's that luck?
Falls out there towards McGrath.
Not one player is taking a backward step because you can't afford to. As McGrath goes long down the wing, Willis works to the front. Great contest. Ground level there was Hopkins. Ends up with Stone. Stone's tackled and the pressure comes and goes out for a boundary throw in true centre wing.
I reckon, Makey, you're 100% right. Every single contest for the whole quarter or for the whole game has meant something, hasn't it? It's either ended up in a goal or something, or getting it into your forward 50. Every single contest is vital.
From this stoppage, O'Brien, but the three-quarter time siren sounds, and this crowd is up and about, as it should be. It is a 2-point margin at three-quarter time in the TRFM Gippsland League Grand Final. We hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. And Mafra lead at 12.779, a leading Leongatha 12.577. We got one to go. It's an absolute classic, and it's right here on TRFM this afternoon. And it's all for Isuzu D-Max or the MUX from Gippsland Isuzu Ute. LMCT 10285.
Laptops under $499. Harvey Norman is your destination for laptops under $499. With the latest Intel processors and up to 1 terabyte storage. We have a wide range of laptops to suit any budget, starting from just $298 from all the big brands. Come in store and talk to our expert staff and get a great deal on a laptop under $499. Available in store and online now at Harvey Norman.
He puts his head over it, tackled and smothered.
What a tackle from Butcher.
What a cracking game, lads. The crowd's getting right into it down here. It's all happening.
A massive crowd of 4,853 people here this afternoon, a record in the Gippsland League. Stoppage at centre forward for the Eagles. Goes in the way of Butcher. Direction out there. Olden does well. Gets on his left foot. Dumped after he's kicked. Gets the footy to the wing. Johnson stands up in it. Couldn't quite mark it. Back there too was Cooper for the Parrots. He has to go again, does Kyle Cooper. Took on the tackler. Got a handball away to Vernon. He can run. Goes to half forward. Right foot kick. Goes over the top. Hilberg. 2 bites at it. No. Well picked off there. This time by Walker. 2 bounces running out of his back half. Delivers out wide. O'Brien's just going to go back. Cut.
Willis.
The big boy Willis causes it to land in his head. McGrath, little hand, don't argue. Bowman handballs over the top back to Willis. Porter tried to put Willis down and come off second best, and it goes over for a boundary throw in.
Throw it in, thanks.
8.5 minutes gone the final quarter. We have a 2-point margin. The crowd erupts.
Porter just
good was Willis
got a
then.
bit winded as he put pressure on Willis. Willis equal to the task, goes back, sucking in the deep breaths. Willis knocks it down. Brown hacks it inside 50. Ganane bounces over his head. With him is Geishan. 2-on-1. Of course, Hopkins comes in to make it 2, but it goes over for a boundary throw in 45 metres around from Leongatha's goal.
3 clearances to Hayden Brown. 3 really important ones already this quarter.
I'd be watching Hopkins at this next stoppage, boys. He's got goal side a couple of times in the last minute.
Let's see the ruck work. Hilberg goes up against Jones. Hilberg tapped it straight down. Marriott was there at the top of his 50. Got a little Shepherd. Handball deep one to Skelling from 50. Unloads. Goes to the hot spot. Cooper's there. Zach Vernon goes up. And his vertical leap is so good. He's cramped. But he's taken a strong mark. He'll be on a slight angle.
Cramping too.
And he'll go back. It's been one of those afternoons. 28, 29 degrees this afternoon in spring. On a September Saturday afternoon.
I said he was my MVP, boys. Very quiet though, but this is a massive opportunity for a goal. Big moments thanks to Monticello's as Vernon skips his way in. Misses to the near side.
Hero to 0.
Juices again. Scuds is rubbing off on me, boys. I've fixed him.
Who called a draw? Any of us?
That was me. I reckon
Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scored 1 point difference. Mafra 14-7-91. Leongatha 14-6-90. Almost 10 minutes played final term.
So we're going to kick out. Johnson goes across to the far side here at Ted Sutherland to Jolly direction. Marks and just slows things up. 10 minutes have gone. Jolly thumps a right foot. He's a long kick of the football looking for Jones. For his teammate, couldn't quite mark it out there. Channing was at ground level. Picking that one up was Plemming to Butcher. Sold some nice little candy. Put the foot on the boot. Goes back there to Scaling. That was Sinclair it was. Handball goes backwards. Now they go forward to half forward.
Good hands.
Kate Maskell, top of the 50. Marks it. Gets onto that left foot. Plays on. Unloads a shot at goal. It's going. Goal! Minor score. So Maskell unloaded with a minor score.
The Parrot crowd got me wrong information there.
I think you gave us the wrong information.
Harvey Norman, Electrical Gippsland scoreboard. Paul Carter.
Scores are all locked up. 14-7-91. Almost 11 minutes gone last quarter.
Kick comes in. Johnson goes wide. He played onto himself out towards Clossy, but Scaling, the ruckman, takes a mark. And Leongatha, the momentum is just with the Parrots at the moment.
Yeah, spot on, Scud, as Scaling goes long to the top of the 50. Maskell sets himself. Flies back. Too deep. Channing at the front for the Eagles. Can't bring it to ground. We'll have a free kick. Tackle was too high, going the way of Alex Carr for the Eagles. 40 metres out from Leongatha's goal. And a chance to reload for the Eagles.
I tell you what, there's not much movement anymore, boys. It's this game has been draining one for both. You've got to dig deep and find something, though. Bedgood couldn't mark it. Handballed over the top to Holmes. He's under pressure by Forrester, but got his handball away nicely to Geishan, and Geishan delivers to Clossy. Half forward flank. Sheen and Baboon, one-on-one. Get it in. Clossy goes to that direction. Sheen's going to fly, but Baboon
well done.
takes it as a push out.
Push out.
I don't know how.
Wasn't on Sheen,
No, I don't. Coyle, they said the push out on Sheen, but Sheen had a free run at that.
It wasn't Baboon, I don't think, that gave it away.
Bet you won't handball this one, boys.
So Sheen, we've got a great view of this one. A 45-degree angle. Scores are all locked up. We've travelled 12 minutes final quarter.
Having a bit of me time, isn't he?
Well, why wouldn't you? It's a grand final. Premierships are here to be won in this last quarter.
The Canberra might get a thumbs up here, I reckon, boys, if he can kick this.
Cometh the moment, cometh the man, Darren Sheen. He has 4 goals. He will turn to the Canberra if it goes through.
Oh, there it is.
Canberra, look at him.
Oh, the strut.
He strutted back.
Darren Sheen does not miss. That's 5 goals for Sheen, and the Eagles are in front.
It's clutch under pressure, isn't it? And it's going to be what team can convert when they've got their opportunities. The handball from Hudson Holmes out here on the wing got him into that forward 50. He was under pressure. Quick little handball, got it forward, and that's how the result is. They've got to get it in there, Mafra, and they'll score.
Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard. Almost 13 minutes gone. Mafra 15-7-97. 6-point lead over Leongatha. 14-7-91.
Back in the middle I go. Scaling up against Jones. This time Alexander grabbed it. Kicked it towards half forward. Good work there by Channing. Gave it backwards to Holmes. Nice candy. Now he gets onto the right foot. Goes back. Over the back is Renoy. They can't get up. No one can read it. Sheen was front and square. Handballs back to Bennett. Bennett kicks around the body. Going away. Minor score. And just snuck one in for a behind. And it could be a handy one. 13.5 minutes in, Paul Carter.
15-8-98, Mafra leading Leongatha 14-7-91.
Sinclair plays on from the kick in, then chips one inside. Defensive 50 and finds Tommy Marriott. Still in his defensive 50. The game well and truly in the balance. 13.5 minutes gone. Just playing composed footy. Marriott chips the ball nicely out wide to Sculling, spills it, keeps it inside the boundary line, handballs over the top to Stone, ducks inside an opponent, hurried kick forward, is smothered, one-on-one contest. Kyle Cooper there, but he's outnumbered. Vernon held off the footy and will win himself a free kick. As probably lucky in the end because he would have been off to the races, Zach Vernon, even with cramp. Goes back towards Sculling. Sculling's got time and space. Chisels one forward and finds Sinclair. Attacking side of centre circle. Goes wide inside 50. Done.
Oh, what a grab.
Cameron Stone takes a nice mark. 45 metres out. 45-degree angle. Going back and looks to be backing himself. Ground level, Springer, the wind has died off.
Yeah, it died off, mate. There's a couple of drops of rain, but it looks pretty good behind us, as in the Warragul way.
So distance shouldn't be a problem.
Which means it'll rain in about 10 minutes.
Cameron Stone comes in from 49 on its way. It's going to drop short, you'd think. Where are the flies? And Jones, a big spoil, puts it through for a minor score. Paul Carter, Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard this afternoon.
Takes Leongatha to 14-8-92, trailing Mafra 15-8-98.
A quick around the grounds check for you down the AFL. The Tigers are leading by a point. They've 14-minute mark of that first quarter there in the
Focus
AFL
on this game,
final.
Yes,
I'll try my best.
15 minutes to go, Darryl. And then
that's right, Makey.
Take your focus to your beloved Tigers as Johnson brings the ball back into play. Contest out wide, beats all comers and goes out towards the boundary. Fierce contest out towards the boundary and goes over for a boundary throw in. 70 metres around from Leongatha's goal. 15.5 minutes gone, 6-point margin in favour of the Eagles.
Solid 50s this quarter, Paul.
It's 8-6 Leongatha's.
Yeah, it seems like they've gone in a lot. Mafra, when they go forward, seem to score more often though, don't they? Well, they obviously are.
Well, they go back in forward again. Cade Maskell takes a contested mark with David Adams. And directly in front,
must convert.
All started from that stoppage on the outer wing, outer half forward flank. It was Luke Bowman looking to repay some faith after being sent off in the second quarter. Sharked it off the pack, quick kick inside 50 and Maskell takes a strong one-hander, slide angle 35 metres out.
Directly in front, you'd think maybe with the left foot, puts it on its way. He wants it to come back and he's missed a minor score. Well, the margin now, Paul, 5 points.
It's 14-9-93 Leongatha. They're trailing Mafra 15-8-98. Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard, 16-minute mark, final turn.
We've seen Mafra do this. They can go end to end. Leongatha have had all the play.
Willis, big spoil from that kick in, goes outside 50 it is. Bowman works hard at ground level, so does Channing, so does Walker. Now Holmes comes in to help his Mafra teammates. Big boy Willis is there as well.
You look around there now, look at how many Mafra players are there. Bowman did a fantastic effort because he was 1 on 5 for a lot of the duration of that little play there, locked it in.
So Willis tries to thump it forward, but Connolly was there. A quick kick by Stone inside 50. Goes to Ganane, gave it off to McGrath. Here's a flying shot at goal. And another minor score. Well,
more chances.
We have seen this a couple of times. The side that peppers away at it.
Drogan last week in the third quarter kicked 7 points.
Does not capitalise, and then all of a sudden it goes the other way. Paul.
14-10-94, Leongatha trail by 4 points. Mafra 15-8-98.
Again
Willis.
to the near side. Willis, a big pack form. Stone, good work by Porter. Oh, he just didn't sit for him, and he could have been away. Calvin Porter, however, we have a boundary throw in right in front of the Leongatha faithful. They are looking for some inspiration as they trail by 4 points.
Left hip here, you watch this left hip.
Willis goes right hip, and that
Scuzz again.
feeds the ball back to Porter. Pressure comes. Weathers the pressure. Great smother by McGrath. Feels so jolly. Again, Porter gets pressure and throws it out with a one hand. Umpire says illegal disposal, and Bowman's going to take this free kick.
He owes him too, boys, for the send-off.
Willis is telling him to take his time. They're going to back him in, Luke Bowman.
Scuzz, don't you say a word.
I tell you what, if ever there was a time for redemption for your team for being sent off, it'll be now, as Luke Bowman makes his way in. Will kick from 52, gets to that mark. It's not going to have the accuracy, not going to have the distance. Contest comes to ground, hacked out of there by Johnson, who's been rock solid in this term. Clears the area. Hayden Brown leads the race. Has Clossy there. Dives on the ball, takes the knees out, and no free kick. No.
Could have gone either way, mate.
Exactly. We've seen it paid both ways in this game as Hayden Brown dove on the ball. Clossy went over the top. Umpire let it go, and it goes out for a boundary throw in half-forward flank for the Leongatha Parrots.
Big moment of the game thanks to Monticello's this afternoon. 18.5 minutes gone. Connolly taps it, but it went straight back to Hopkins. He kicks it inside forward 50. Skelling couldn't mark. Plemming was there. Gathers. He handballs backwards to O'Brien. O'Brien's kick goes wide and high. Coming down the line, Forrester takes a strong mark. The defender was in front spot. Took the strong mark on true centre wing.
They need reward for effort. Scoreboard pressure do the Parrots because they're starting to dominate play. Goes in 50. Maskell at ground level. McGrath gathers, feeds it back to Marriott. Puts the ball on the boot. Going towards Hilberg. Hilberg and done.
Oh, good
Sets
hands.
himself from the back and takes a strong mark. Hard up in the pocket though. Tight angle. Very same pocket that he kicked that left foot snap goal at the 1 minute mark of this term. Can he replicate that feat and get Leongatha back in front as it's coming up on 20 minutes in this final term? And Dunn, who has kicked 5 goals, looking for number 6, and this will be one of the most critical. Looks like he's going to go for a traditional drop punt. Comes in, puts the ball on the boot. He loves it.
He's kicked it. He's kicked it.
And the Parrots are back in front.
Finally some reward for effort. They've had a lot of inside 50s the last 5 or 10 minutes. They've finally been able to kick the goal, but we spoke before the game. Who would you want the ball in the hands of when you need him most? And it's Scud. Actually, no, it's me. It's Springer. Was it you too, mate? Not Springer.
It was Springer.
No, it wasn't. It was Dunny, and he's just put it through. Tight angle. He's kicked 2 from there now. Brilliant goals, and he's the man who's going to stand up here for Leongatha.
And the lead goes back to Leongatha by 2 points at the 20-minute mark of the final quarter. And on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard, we've got Leongatha 15-10-100, Mafra 15-8-98.
I'll ask you again, boys. Anyone want to change their tip?
No, I'm sticking with it. It's going to come down.
You're not going to be wrong either way.
Big moments. Here we go. Up they go, Connolly and Willis. Connolly got it down. Good work in the middle there by Carr. He got a foot to ball, and it goes to half forward. Great work by McGrath, though, to tap it onto the wing. Skelling gathered it on the wing.
He's out.
Ball to Willis. He lumbers after it. That's a strong tackle by Winston Geishan in the middle.
Big moments thanks to Monticello's. That was huge. Jack Daniels, 700 mil, just 39.99.
Geishan kicks towards half forward. Sheen marks on a long lead. Wheels around. Right foot boot. Goes towards Renoy over the back. Coyle takes the mark in the end. Read it just a little bit better as Coyle kicks it out wide and found out there Chrissy Dunn. He's everywhere at the moment, Chris Dunn, for the Sale Greyhounds.
On and gone to goals, and Mafra haven't picked it up yet.
Half-back flank, here's Chris Dunn. Here's a slow play, goes high, long down the wing, looking for Willis. The big man stands underneath it. Walker spoiled. Porter was at the back, slapped it on the boot, but it's all Leongatha. Hopkins has it. Hopkins just slowing things up, chips it over the top. Dunn is there. He now plays on. Right foot kick, goes to half forward in the direction there of Maskell. Couldn't quite mark it, was Adams. Willis did well, won the footy, squeezed a kick inside to Skelling, who got tackled. And it was Hilberg. It was over for a boundary throw-in.
Here's the two big men from Leongatha. They've turned it on the last 5 or 10 minutes. Willis and Skelling, the two ruckmen are everywhere.
Big Willis has been absolutely fantastic in this final term as he contests this ball up. Tackled fiercely over there on the outer wing. It wasn't Willis. A bit slow to get up. It's Luke Bowman. As we'll have another ball up, 60 metres around from goal in favour of Leongatha. 22 and a half minutes gone. It'll go about 30. Willis knocks it down. Carr gets the clearance. Goes 30 metres. Strong one-handed mark on the half-back flank for the Eagles in Cade Renoy. Has opportunity to go forward as we have a blood rule. Just trying to see, it looks to be Dylan Alexander making his way off the ground. So that'll add a bit more time to this quarter as time on will be called. The possession is in Cade Renoy's hands. So we're just going to have to wait till Alexander makes his way off.
Taking his time.
Well, I think in a blood rule situation, the player that's replacing him can come on to make it a bit quicker, and it's just been a standard substitution.
I think Bowman also was had a little bit of claret as well as he comes off as well. So Stone comes on for him. The player's about to get back underway. On the far side, out there is Cade Renoy. His kick goes high, half-forward flank direction. Sheen was there, so was Willis. Over the back, though. Good work by Verboon. He tried the underground handball. Sheen swooped on it. He's had a great game. Right foot kick was smothered by Stone. And McGrath was there to squeeze a handball out to Cooper. Great little tackle by Walker. Didn't get a kick away, did Cooper. Now Stone goes again. Maffra tackle him hard in the middle.
It's hot.
And we've got a ball up true centre.
Is red hot. Absolutely red hot. And it's going to come down to one defining moment in the last 6 or 7 minutes of this final term in the grand final here in the Tower FM Gippsland League as Porter puts his head over the ball and tries to barrel his way through but gets tackled, and we'll have a secondary ball up in true centre of this ground. Jones and Willis, both of them let it go again at it, do the big fellas, as does Jolly, and all of them fall over the ball. We'll have another ball up.
Paul Carter, some of the stat winners. Jack Johnson's had a big last quarter.
He's had 7 in this quarter, taking his total to 24.
So Jones put it down towards Channing. He gets a handball to Butcher. Butcher's delivery towards Bedgood, who can mark in front of his eyes, 50 metres out.
Big moment.
45-degree angle. He'll have to kick it all of 55 metres. He doesn't waste any time. Bedgood got close to the man of the mark, pushing it across the face. Where's the pack? It forms. The boot is back there.
Wrong.
The umpire said no one marked that one. We're going to ball it up on the point of the square. 24 and a half minutes gone. The margin 2 points in the favour of Leongatha. However, we're inside Maffra's forward 50 from the stoppage. Sheen kicks it off the ground. Last line there was Coyle. They fall over.
Free kick.
And the free kick is going in the way of Chris Verboon. Down there as the dark clouds start to roll in, Verboon has it.
There is plenty of time, let me add, boys. Still at least 5 minutes, I reckon, of play as Verboon goes wide. Flying in from the side is Carr. Umpire calls play on and goes for a boundary throw-in outside of the 50-metre arc in favour of Maffra as Leongatha relieve a little bit of pressure.
It's on a knife's edge. You don't know whether to put someone behind the ball yet. You don't know how much time's left. It's an absolute knife edge game.
Ball comes back into play. Working hard back there was Olden. His kick around the body looking for touch. He's going to find the boundary.
Is it?
And the umpire says no.
Does it take you back to the...
Colo.
Yeah,
Yes.
The Traralgon game.
Ball about to be back into play. 26 minutes have passed, final quarter of the grand final. No one can really win it. Working hard there was Stone. He's been one of the best performers for the Sale Greyhounds this afternoon, and the umpire will cross his arm, allow people to take their breath. The crowd is in a little bit of a hush. The Parrots lead it by 2 points.
Westaway free behind the ball.
McGrath was there. Stone did well. Good work to handball. Good tackle though. In there was Cooper. Tried to underground handball. Great work by Johnson. Stood up in the tackle. Got a handball out. No, he hit it. The ball sent the umpire. Could nearly be reversed. As it was Cooper put down O'Brien. Slow to get up though. Now, this could be a professional one. Hayden Brown.
We like these.
Time on. Paul Carter, time on.
Well, that's now time off now, so he's not wearing away at anything. But on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard, still a 2-point lead to Leongatha, 15-10, 15-8.
Well, the cramps all right.
Candy goes long, went wide inside 50. Maskell flies. At ground level is done. Walker takes him too high. Does the umpire call it?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Free kick, Chris Dunn, as he just rolled the shoulder. We've seen that plenty of times. Just ducked underneath the tackle a little bit. Goes inside the corridor, finds Hopkins, 70 metres out from goal. This will be a slow play, just taking time off the clock.
This could be it, boys.
27 and a quarter minutes gone.
Leongatha get a mark here.
Long and wide. All he had to do was keep it in play, boys.
This could be it.
Puts the ball back in the hands of Mafra. They are deep inside their defensive 50. The ball is in the right hands. It is Fleming.
This could be it, the switch too. They've got a bit of space, comes out wide towards Petro. He can chip it over the top to Butcher. He can mark, Cooper closes. Butcher marks, they've got numbers just chipping over again. Clossy, he can handle over the top to Johnson if he wants.
Joey the Goose.
He does now, gives it to him. Johnson has to come back, get around the body, and it lands in Geishan on centre wing. 28 minutes have gone. Geishan's going to unload. It's kicked was partially smothered. Westaway was there, just fumbled. Bedgood gave it to Clossy. Clossy ducked the shoulder. Handball's out. Jones has 4 Leongatha players around him. Marriott was one of those. Gave it to Gadane. Gadane kicked it. Petro.
28 minutes have gone.
Petro marked halfback. Out wide to Adams. Adams, Butcher works hard for him. He goes to that direction. They're out in their feet, both sides. Butcher now has it on the wing. 28.5 minutes, coming board, dangerous kick.
Free kick.
Free kick.
Fleming.
In the middle of the ground.
Free kick right in the middle of the ground.
Eagles trail by 2 points.
Quick, goes inside 50. Sheen sets himself. Bedgood comes to ground. Who's there at ground level? It's Bennett.
Turn the lights on.
Goes on the left. Goes towards goal. Getting back. Touched on the line. Going through 4 behind. There's a 1
Boys, the Parrot crowd are going off their heads here. They're just sounding the siren.
Long and wide, boys. Long and wide.
29-minute mark. 1 point margin. Leongatha ahead 15-10. Mafra 15. Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard.
Forrester kicked in. Dunn couldn't mark. We've got a boundary throw in. 55 metres out from Mafra's goal. Petro limps off. He's got to get off quickly because they're 1 down at the moment. 29.5 minutes have gone. Ball comes back into play. Willis tried to tap it forward. McGrath was there. Can the Parrots get this one? Dunn's there. Swoops onto the right foot. Gains some meterage. Boundary throw in. The Parrots haven't won one since 2001. It's been 16 long years for the Eagles.
29
for the Parrots.
Minutes. 29.5 minutes gone. Not long to go. Mafra need a clearance and get it inside 50 to have a shot on goal. Paul made the prediction that'll be after the siren. Will that be in favour of the Eagles as McGrath gets a clearance? Comes to Davey Adams. Great
The Eagles, Parrots have won. They have gone absolutely berserk. It's a 1 point margin in the TRFM Gippsland League Grand Final. Finally, after 2 losses in a row, the Parrots are premiers in season 2017. They've won at 15-10-100. Have defeated the Eagles, a gallant Mafra, 15-9, 99. And the Parrots run from all corners of the ground.
I'm on the bandwagon, boys.
Brad Springer-Thomas, get down there. You're at ground level. You might be able to catch one of the boys as they run out.
See if you can grab the coach.
Grab the coach.
Go on.
Bo Vernon is out on the ground now. And Brad Springer-Thomas is about to join him.
I've got Bo Vernon here, boys. First of all, congratulations, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, good chat, Sue.
He is absolutely sensational.
Don't be scared to ask more than one question, Springer.
He is over the moon at the moment, is Bo Vernon. A fantastic effort.
Big Sheen makes his way off the ground.
And
Give him a round of applause. He is monumental for the Eagles.
Massive.
Now Sheen actually also went straight to Bo Vernon as well.
Just grab the drink.
Shook the hands, of course. What an afternoon of football. What a game. What a grand final. A true classic on a Saturday afternoon at Ted Summit and Reserve.
Can we take a breath?
I don't know if we can. I don't think we can.
Someone get me a beer.
Springer, you've got work to do. Unbelievable. For the goal scorers this afternoon, for the winning Parrots, Chrissy Dunn. He got 6 goals this afternoon. Hayden Brown got 2. So did Brock Davison. They're singing a song out there. We can sort of hear it. There is hundreds of people around the Parrots. They are loud and proud.
As they should be. I tell you what, I know it's hard to say to Mafra that they can walk off the ground with their heads held high, but that's really what it is all about. Geez, it was a gallant contest. Went right down to the wire, was deep inside Mafra's forward 50 as the umpire waves the all clear. That is the...
that's important.
The official, exactly right. Just to be, that is the official scoreline is Leongatha 15-10, 100. Defeated Mafra 15-9-99 as the Parrots, third time lucky, premiers in 2017 in one of the most fiercely fought grand finals you will ever see at any level.
Just going through those goal scorers this afternoon. Chrissy Dunn, as we said, got 6 goals. He was absolutely fantastic. 2 goals to Brock Davison and Hayden Brown. And then it was singles to Tommy Marriott, John Ganane and Aaron Hilberg, while Josh Scalling also got 1. While for the Mafra side, well, Darren Sheen was fantastic. He got 5 goals this afternoon. Mitch Bennett got 3, and Dylan Alexander got 2, along with Cade Renoy. Singles to Daniel Bedgood and Danny Butcher, along with Daniel O'Brien. Brad Thomas at ground level. He's out there somewhere. I'm not sure we can get some of the interviews. There's lots of people around this Leongatha huddle. As you'd expect, you probably need to, Brad Thomas, you can hear us, you need to take him away from the crowd just a little bit if you can. That'd be much appreciated if you get him away from the huddle.
Can you hear me now, boys?
Yeah, we'll get down to you, mate.
I've got Zach Vernon here, boys. First of all, mate, what a game by you and the team.
Yeah, and keep trying, spring up.
You don't think it means that much? It really does.